This is the story about Paco and Robert learning lessons from Jesus.
I'm Paco.
I'm Robert.
This is the gospel according to us. This is the gospel according to us.
This is the gospel according
To us.
Paco, I'm confused.
So, what else is new?
I beg your pardon?
Never mind, Robert. Tell me, what's confusing you today?
Well, it's two things, really.
Go on.
Well, first of all, we're both agreed that Jesus is quite a remarkable fellow. I mean, he heals people who are ill. He even brings dead people back to life. I wonder if he can do that for animals, too. Paco, do you think I should have a word with Jesus about the fatted calf?
Stick to the subject, Robert. Yes, we are in agreement that Jesus is very remarkable.
And now there he is, teaching in the synagogue, sharing all sorts of wisdom, and the people won't accept him. Even though they're amazed by what he's saying, even though they know he has the power to do miracles, they still say, "Bah, he's only a carpenter."
That's right, Robert. But you're leaving out some important information. Where is Jesus when all this is going on?
I told you, Paco, in the synagogue.
Yes, Robert. But where is that synagogue?
Wait, don't tell me. Oh yes, in his hometown.
Exactly.
And your point is?
Well, think about it, Robert. Remember when you went off to night school and learned how to knit? And then you came back and started making all those long scarves?
I made mittens too, and even an Afghan.
Yes, you did. I still wrap up in it on chilly nights. But tell me, Robert, how did your friends react to your newly acquired skill? Were they happy for you?
Well, no, but I thought that was because I kept stealing their wool.
That might have had something to do with it, but I'm pretty sure it was because they thought you'd gotten too big for your britches. You see, they'd known you since you were a little lamb. They'd watched you do all sorts of stupid things in your younger days.
Not that stupid.
No, okay, Robert. But the point is, they never imagined that you would become an expert knitter. And they weren't very comfortable with it. Especially because you could do it and they couldn't.
Ah, I see, Paco. My friends were envious of me, and so were Jesus' fellow townspeople.
So Jesus had to go to other places to teach and heal. Places where people accepted him for who he was.
Thank you, Paco. You've really cleared that up for me. I think I'll go and knit you a woolly hat.
Wait a minute, Robert. You said there were two things you're confused about. What's the second one?
Oh, right, yes. Well, it's when Jesus sends his followers out to teach the people how to change their hearts and lives. Now, I understand why he put the disciples in groups of two, so they'd always have a travelling companion. I even understand why he told them not to take anything with them except a walking stick, because he wanted them to rely on the hospitality of the people they met. And obviously I understand why he told them to wear sandals. But I do not understand this business about shaking dust off their feet.
What don't you understand, Robert?
Well, when Ed and Dolly finish pulling the plough, they always stop and shake the dirt off their hooves before they go into the stable. That's because they don't want to track it inside and mess up their stalls. But what's the point of shaking dust off your feet when you're still outdoors? They're only going to get dusty again after just a few more steps down the road.
You're right, Robert. But Jesus meant this to be a symbolic act. You see, in those days, if a Jewish person visited a Gentile town, they would shake the dust off their feet as they left to show that they weren't influenced by the Gentile culture. For the Jewish disciples to make the same gesture when they left a Jewish town? Well, that would be making it very clear that they wanted nothing to do with people who wouldn't accept Jesus, even though all he wanted to do was to make their lives better.
That makes a lot of sense, I think. Paco, does Jesus want us to go out and about teaching folks how they can change their hearts and lives?
Yes, he does, Robert. But I'm not sure we'll get very far in our own barnyard.
No, you made too much of a fool of yourself when you were a piglet. They'd never listen to you.
Maybe we should start in the next farm over.
Good idea. Just one question. Do I really have to wear sandals?